Welcome back, everybody. DarkSpyder here for Farming Simulator 22. Today, I wanted to talk about productions. It seems that there's still a lot of questions about what productions should I do or can I do, or how do I do this production? And I've even had a few ask me, you know, well, what production should I use on my farm? I'm like, well, I mean, can't really answer that question for you, really. Depends on what you want to do. And I think, the very first thing that you have to do is, what farmer do I want to be? I mean, when you start the game, that's really the first question you got to ask yourself. So, like, when I first started playing, I didn't do any mods. I didn't know anything about mods. So, the very first thing I did when I went in is I went to here and I was looking. I was like, okay. And then I went up to contracts. There aren't any contracts available on this map because I've been on it so long. I own everything. But contracts are a really good way to get to know the equipment. Because when I first started playing, I had no idea how to do potatoes because it was like you need to remove the green on top, and I'm like, what? What does that mean? So I even went as far as when I did the contract, I leased their equipment, and I'm picking up all this equipment. Had no idea, just nothing. I just didn't know. Well, things have changed a lot since then. But I started here because I have this grain mill that I put in, and it's missing materials, obviously, because I'm out of wheat and barley, sorghum. Still got some oats in there. And it's auto-loading onto this trailer. And the only reason I'm not doing automatic sells because I'm in that spot where I haven't quite decided if I want to go to that next step. But let's go back a little bit. As far as productions go, like I said, you really need to find out what you want to do. And for me, I like to run very, very large farms, and I do multiple things because for me, and as bad as my ADHD is, I get bored very quickly. So I ended up running almost every crop. I also end up running cattle. If when I'm on Deadwood, I'm doing the mining. I'm doing cattle. Now this map is that I always destroy the name. It's Sapaka Wow Wow or whatever it's called. It's very. I'm pretty sure it's a Russian map, but whatever. It's huge, as you can plainly see. It is a huge map, and I've been running this map for quite some time. You got wheat. All this is wheat. This is all corn, sunflowers, sorghum, sugarcane, soybeans. Over here you got barley, and then this is all oats. And then you got canola. Now, the reason why I decided to do it that way was because, again, I get bored and I like to make the money in the game. And the only way to make really good money in the game is to obviously have productions. Yeah, you could probably just sell all your grain and you could sell all your. But it doesn't really, for me, that doesn't seem like it's worth my time. So the only thing that I sell without any kind of productions is cotton. I know you didn't see any cotton fields, but if you watch my greenhouse videos, you'll see why I don't plant cotton. But as far as productions go, the game was basically designed for you to run as many as you want. I mean, as you can see, I've got a dairy. I've got my grain. I even have one for straw. Because when you're running fields as large as this wheat, barley, and oats, you're going to have some straw. Now, I do have a lot of cows, too. I have 8. I have 8 cow barns. Now, they're still only at like 40 to 50% production on these cows. I'm sorry, not production. They're at 100% production. But as far as like their offspring pregnancies go, I think this one's at 40. So this cow is at 40%. Yeah, so reproduction. And they've been here, I've had them for 23 months. Um, you got all kinds of things you get from cows. So you're going to get slurry, you're going to get manure, and you're going to get milk if you choose to use milk. So like I said, I go one step further with it. You know, the manure and the slurry you can use for your fields, but I know that as large as my farm is, I'll never have enough slurry and I'll never have enough manure to cover all my fields. And then, of course, you got your milk. And yeah, you can just sell milk outright. But here's why I look. Okay, we're just talking about milk. Let's go to milk. Let's take a look. There's milk. So right now it says I have 225,000 liters of milk. Okay. Now, if you look over to the right there on your stations where you can actually sell the milk, dairy, there's 2 dairies, flavored milk, sell everything. And then there's the SPAC Trans, 1325. So my sell everything is the highest at 1353. It's even better than my flavored milk factory. But so we're looking at 1306. But let's take a look and look at our price fluctuations. Let's hit square. And you know, green it would be the highest. So for me, you know, if I'm not incorrect, and I usually get the best prices, so I can't be incorrect. January is a good month to sell milk in. September is a good month to sell milk in. December would be okay. But right now it's at the lowest price. So no matter what, I'm not going to sell my milk right now, so I'm going to store it. Well, then you're looking about silos and everything else, but we can talk about silos later. Right now we're talking about productions and prices. Okay? Let's take this a step further because we're talking about productions and trying to make money, right? So, you know, I just said I had milk. I have 225,000 liters of milk, right? So let's go down and we're going to take a look at a couple other things. So there's bread, cake, butter, cheese. All those require milk. The cake, the butter, the cheese. There's chocolate too. And that's $17.64 for butter. Cheese is $35.28. Now, why would I sell milk for $1,300 when I can go throw it into a dairy and make cheese and sell it for $35? And I can sell that in February at $35. So, you know, you got to think about what productions you want to do because 9 times out of 10, one production is going to cause you to have 2 or 3 more. So those are things to think about. So if I'm going to have milk and I'm going to have grains because I have cattle and I need grains, I need grass, I need silage, so forth, so forth. So I'm thinking I'm just going to keep putting it into my productions. Let's go down to chocolate. Let's find chocolate. There's chocolate. So $38.88, and that's low. So why would I sell milk for $1,300 when I can very easily just go put it in a dairy and look at that. I mean, that's double and a half. So, you know, so that's what you got to think about. You know, what am I going to do with my farm? How am I going to turn everything into money? And I do. I at this point, at $47 million, I'm self-efficient. I think the only thing I have to buy is liquid fertilizer. But there is a production for liquid fertilizer too now. And I don't know if I even checked it, to be honest. It's part of the downloadable content. It's not a mod, it's downloadable content. And I'm pretty sure I didn't check it for this map. And that's why I haven't started making it yet. It's at Lily Sphere. But even with that, you still have to buy another product to go in that to make, because you put it near your cow barns and it pulls the methane out and you mix it with, I can't remember the acid, to make liquid fertilizer. But I don't use that much liquid fertilizer. The only thing I use liquid fertilizer for is my coffee greenhouses. So I don't worry about it. And I lied to you. I said that cotton was the only thing that I sold without any kind of productions. Coffee. I sell coffee beans. No production. I do not use the coffee house. You lose way too much money on coffee to turn it to roasted coffee beans. You're losing at least half of your income doing it that way. So I sell the coffee beans as just raw coffee beans. All right, so then you got your oil for your canola and your sunflowers. Probably one I could have left out as far as productions go. And as you can see, I've got olives in there, and I've got olive oil making. I probably could have left this out, but the greenhouses that I use produces olives, and it produces cotton, and it produces potatoes. So I'm thinking, okay, if I'm going to have potatoes, this BGA doesn't take potatoes for energy, but my silage factory, it takes potatoes. So I use potatoes there, and I also have a potato chip factory. So that's where the olive oil goes, and it goes into the potato chip factory to make potato chips. Because you're going to make more money off potato chips than you are potatoes. I've even got a production for straw, for all my excess straw, because I have so much straw, I really just don't know what to do with it. So this produces your straw accessories, straw crates, and you sell them, and it's pretty good money. It's actually pretty decent money. Now here is the potato factory. And as you can see, it's got 82,000 potatoes, 19,000 olive oil, and it's going to sell the potato chips. And if you wanted to look, you can go look at potato chips and see. That's the good thing about this. There's only been one map where it didn't have a price on it because I could make TMR it had a factory and you could actually make mineral feed in it. But for some reason in this there was no price for it. Wasn't even listed. Mineral feed wasn't even on the list, which I just found odd. There's potato chips. So 27.16 for potato chips, and that's 26.53 down there is what it's selling for right now. High end is 27.16, so not that much of a loss if I decide to sell them now. And if you go back up and look at just plain potatoes, I don't think it's terrible, but it's not great. Let's see, potato. There they are. It is a huge loss. Okay, no matter what time of year you sell, you're taking a huge loss just selling potatoes outright. Even look at eggs. Eggs is really good money, $24.89, right? Or $14.31 is the low end, what it's selling now, right? You wait, and it's $24.89. But if you go to a bakery and you take your flour, your eggs, strawberries, so forth, whatever else it takes, and you start making yourself some bread, there's $32.09. Cake is $65.46 for every 1,000 liters. High end. Low end's $53.44. That's still a lot better than $2,300 for eggs. So my point is, though, is that that's the thing about productions in this game. One production that you want to do is probably going to you're going to end up putting in 2 to 3 more. You know, you can put in a cereals factory, but guess what? In order to have that cereal, you got to have raisins. You got to have honey. I don't have a cereal factory, believe it or not, because I didn't want to have to put out the honey, and I already have raisins. I'm selling my raisins, but I didn't want to do the honey. Don't ask me why. I just didn't feel like doing honey this time. I usually always have at least 16 to 18 beehives, but I just didn't put them on this map. So now let's get into your productions tab. So this is your productions tab. So here we go. I have some wood running. I haven't cut any wood in a while. The furniture carpentry is the slowest producing factory in this game. I don't care what anybody says. It is the slowest because I only put in 42,000 wood in that thing, and it's been like 6 in-game months, and that's where I'm at. It is literally the slowest. Your fastest money maker is always going to be coffee greenhouses, and I have a ton of those just so I can have money to do what I want. And I'm making $7 to $10 million a month. Here's my fruit greenhouses. I'm doing grapes, olives, tomatoes, lettuce, strawberries, potatoes, sugar beet, cotton. Okay. Now, I mean, I do that because it's good money. And then I'm like, okay, so I'll take my grapes and olives and I'll make me a production factory for them. Have you looked and see what you can do with grapes? If you haven't, you should. Take a look. So you got raisins. Raisins sell pretty good. Low end's 23.50, high end's 28.58. Grape juice is 3,200 high end, and it's selling for that now. Lettuce, tomatoes is never great, but usually you can just sell it to a restaurant. But tomatoes and lettuce are just passive income, I consider it. Strawberries is another one. It's never very high unless you add it into something else. Chocolate is a really good one all by itself. But I took it a step further, strawberries and chocolate, and I have a flavored milk factory that gets me even more money. That's where I'm trying to get to here. Let's take a look at, if you wanted to do the carrots and things, those are pretty good money. But look at your raw coffee beans. Raw coffee beans, high end, is $6,192 for every 1,000 liters. Now look at roasted, half. So yeah, I'm going to sell them raw. Matter of fact, I just got it set to sell. And that money hits me every month. All right. So let's keep going. Here we go. So your milks. Look at oat milk at 4,000. Soy milk. I don't know why anybody want to drink soy milk, but whatever. It's $4,000. Chocolate milk. 41.79 is the high end. 35.60 is the low end. Strawberry milk is 39.85, high 33.93. And I mean, it's really what you got to look at. You just got to look at, those type of things. It's not that big of a deal to run a factory. And I know it does cost you to run these factories, but there are so many other different ways for your passive incomes that it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Another really good production that I don't have on this farm is I had it before and I did a video. If you go back and you watch why it's about greenhouses, and these are in that video. It's not a ton of money to sell the fruit by themselves. It really isn't. It's not bad. But go down here and look at the production side of all these fruits. 37.42 for whatever that is. Pectin, I don't even know what that is. Apple butter, $7,534 on the high end for 1,000 liters for apple butter. Apple chips, $56.49. Apple jam, $47.38. Well, you haven't seen even the best ones yet. They're all good money once you get. Look at the apple pie, $65 for an apple pie. 1,000 liters of apple pie, $6,588. That's a lot of apple pies. So what I wanted you guys to look at though was grapeseed oil is $62.20. So there are a lot of things to do with your grapes other than just the main grape factory. There is a grape cooperative that makes that grapeseed oil at $6,200 high end. Excuse me, losing my voice. That grapeseed oil high end, $6,200, low end is $5,000. Grape leatherette, look at that. $68.99 for grape leatherette out of your grape factory. Now you could take that a little further. That grape leatherette can go into a clothing factory. And I don't care what anybody says. I've had clothing factories. It's one of the slowest productions, that you can have. It really is. Besides furniture, I think clothing and furniture are the two slowest productions in the game because I've had This is the first time I've played this game and not hit a clothing manufacturer because it's just so slow. You might get 1,000 liters a day. It's really slow. So I actually would make more money just selling the grape leatherette, the grape must. The grape must you can actually use. There's a factory. Again, another production, guys. So you take your grape must instead of selling it for $3.95, and you can make yourself fertilizer. Fertilizer always sells for more. Shoes are pretty good. Look at that, 15,000. But good luck, because that factory is just the slowest factory there is. Unpacked grape juice. There's your premium grape juice right there, 4,000. That's in that. That's in that cooperative. Sparkling grape juice, $5,100. Table grape. And you're just gonna keep going through. Even seeds. Look at seeds. You want to talk about seeds? Let's go back to my production. Let's skip through all the greenhouses here. We're gonna keep going. All right, so I have a lime fertilizer, salt, herbicide, seed production company. Okay, so that's why I told you I'm self-efficient. I have my own lime. I have my own solid fertilizer. I even have road salt for winter if I need it. Or on some maps, like Deadwood, you have to have road salt for the cow barns. Let's go down and take a look. Herbicide is empty and seeds are low because these feed these greenhouses and it keeps them stocked. I never have to buy seed, I never have to buy herbicide, and I never have to buy fertilizer because it's all made here. And I have two. Here's the second one. There it goes. So herbicide. I'm at 568,000 liters of herbicide, 744,000 liters of seeds. Solid fertilizer is always a little bit lower in these because it takes solid fertilizer to make seeds in these factories. If you go and you look at, see, it says 50 fertilizer, 50,000. Okay, so it's a lot, and I'm self-efficient for it. There's my hay and my grass. I don't cut grass anymore, really. Honestly, I make enough money. I just buy my grass. Grass is $167,000 for 5 million liters. It costs me nothing to buy my grass. Silage. I do make my own silage, and as you can see, if you look, I got 1 million liters of potatoes in there because I'm so full on silage right now that, okay. Keep going down. Here's your straw accessories. I have it just set to sell. It sells it to the highest bidder. I need to go refill it on straws, as a matter of fact, as we're talking. Here's your raisin factory, okay? Grape factory, sorry. It's going to make raisins, table grape, grape juice, unpackaged grape, but you have the grape must, the grape seed as byproducts. And like I said, I could take that a little further. I could take the unpackaged grape juice, which is the least amount. You actually don't make near as much of that as you do anything else in that factory. But you send it over to the cooperative and you're going to get your sparkling grape juice. It's going to sell for twice that. All right, so here's your sugar factory. Okay, I got sugar beets galore in there because I have the greenhouses. It's making all my sugar for me. Okay, I don't have any sugar cane in there yet because sugar cane takes 16 years to grow. Okay, here's your oil. I use the extended oil plant. That is a mod because I want to get my corn oil and I want my soybean oil. Okay, I don't sell my soybeans outright because I can make more money off soybean oil. Okay, and there are other uses for the soybeans and the corn as well, but this is mainly it. But there's your chip factory. Okay, so, and then this was a timber storage from all the trees that I cut down. And then I went ahead and I bought the biogas plant. It's actually out of manure right now. It's got silage and slurry in it. Look at slurry at 909. So that's all money. That's all what I consider like passive income. Okay. The only thing I don't have in there is sugar beet cut. Oh, I don't have any manure right now, but I have manure for it. So then I made a dairy. There's where my milk goes. My milk goes into my dairy, and with sugar, I get the butter, cheese, chocolate. I'm distributing my chocolate because I have the flavored milk factory. Okay, it's got strawberries. Doesn't have any chocolate right now for some reason. It's the lowest producing part of this factory, but that's fine. Everything else is moving along just fine. And then you got your grain. Okay, and guys, that's it seems like a lot, and it is a lot. But that's the game. What do I want to do with productions and how do if you don't know how to get to productions, go to construction. It's right there, productions. You go to your factories. These are all the factories that you can put in this game. Well, all the ones that I have in here. Now, there are a ton, So, there's all kinds of ways to make money in the game. And I also don't put productions out until I'm about ready to harvest. Now, the only reason a lot of these factories out was because I was able to get these fields and harvest what was on them, and I threw them in the factories. Oil's a little bit different because of the greenhouses. Of course, milk is different because I'm getting milk from my cows. So, guys, that's what I do, and that's what people have been asking about, and it's like nobody really can answer those questions for you on what productions to use, because I don't know what kind of farmer you want to be. How do you want to play the game? And like I've already explained to you, I do most everything that I can do because it keeps me busy. Otherwise, I probably just wouldn't play because I'm going to get bored. I'm just not going to want to play. So that way, when I can't harvest anything, I have cows I have to attend to. There's logging that I can do on the side. Logging is not the main thing I do in this game. It is a side task. Now, I did plant trees, so I have more trees growing. But this cow barn auto feeder is pretty good, so I just had to refill these. And I think I have 8? I think I have 8 cow barns at 500 cows each, but there's only like 300. There's only 300 cows in here so far. So it's not a lot of cows, but we're getting a decent amount of milk. Right now there's 45,000 liters of milk in this one and 75,000 liters of slurry. Because it's a new day, and I haven't emptied anything yet, and I haven't refilled the cow barns yet. I have a lot to do as far as this in-game day goes because I have. We'll just do it this way. I have this cornfield has to be harvested, and as you can see, this cornfield is quite large. This was probably, I don't even remember how many fields this was. We can look, but it was more than 4. Pretty sure this was 6 to 8 fields. Now this one was about 1 field, 2 fields. I think it was only like 2 fields that I joined together. But it was a lot of work because all this was forced. 90% of this over here, I don't remember how far over, but like from here over was all trees, and as you can still see, it's quite lumpy. But this is all corn that has to be harvested. And then I'm going to do. There's been a lot of people asking about, how do I get my field to 100%? What's the best way to get your yield up? This is at 98%, and I'll be honest with you, the only reason it's that low is because when I got this field, it was already plowed, I believe. There wasn't anything to mulch. Now, there will be some aspects of this that will be at 100%, but most of it's going to be at 98. We can take a look at the field. All right, so here's the cornfield here. So actually, let's look. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16 fields I joined into. It's technically 2 fields because it is separated by this road. And I don't know how many acres. I wish you could click on it and it would tell you how many acres it is now, but the game doesn't do that. Honestly, I don't know that I even care. So, and then the other field that's ready now is these 3 barley fields. I've already got my harvester out here ready, and I got one here. And then for the corn, we have 2 ready for it too. I've got one sitting here, and then the other harvester is sitting here. I could probably get away with 2 more in there, but they're faster than the regular ones because they are the Reaper 2000s. So now they're not set for anything unrealistic except for the capacity. They're going to go a little faster maybe, but that's it. There's no unrealistic doing the whole field at one time or anything like that. So, but we'll be doing. I'm going to be doing some videos on how to get your fields to 100%. A lot of people still talk about the different ways to actually because after I harvest this, most people tell me that people try to tell me I do it wrong. But my income at the top tells me that's wrong. I am doing it right. Cultivating after you mulch, you have weeds. The way I do it, I don't have weeds. I do have a sprayer because even when you plow and even when you mulch and even when you still might miss a little speck and a little weed gets in there. It happens. It is the way it is. But for the most part, I do not use sprayers. I don't even have a weeder on this map. You can go. I can even show you all the stuff I have. I do not have a weeder. This is all the items that I own, and there is no weeder in here because I don't use them. I have in the past, but that was before I figured out that I need to mulch, plow, every harvest. This is my mulcher, guys. I don't. There's my sprayer, because like I said, every once in a while, for some reason. You know how it is. You'll plow the whole thing. You'll go back and you get done seeding it and planting it and everything, and there's a little red spot. You're like, well, how did I even miss that? That happens. But we'll get into that later. But like I said, as far as productions go, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, it's not, I would just stress the fact that I don't put production factories out until I have my product. The only caveat to that would be my hay and silage and my lime makers. I will put those out because those are the first productions that I do, and they're all the way over here. Let me see if there's something over there I can jump into. There is, of course. Let's jump out. These productions over here are separate. I have back-to-back fertilizer seed factories, right? And then, there's my silos. And then over here is my hay, right? Okay. And then my silage is right. It should have been right back there. That's weird. Hang on a second here. There it is. I'm sorry. So there's my silage factory. And you're wondering why I put them up next to these silos. I made a video for that too. It's a really, really in-game hack. If you want to see that video, go watch that video if you have not watched it yet. It's a good video about improving the input of your factories. Because if you look at the gas dryer, it holds 10 million grass. That's all it holds. But magically, I have 21.2 in this one. All right. And then if you go and you look at my silage factory, I don't know. I think it's 5 million each for the silage. I think that's all it holds in that factory. It's been so long since I used it as base. I honestly don't remember what its base game, holdings are. But I mean, I have 10 million chaff. I have 20 million grass in there, and I got 1 million potatoes. And I'm holding 12 million silage. All right. And that's all due to the nice silo hack that I found. Go watch that video. Check that out. But guys, that's it for productions. Productions are not a hard thing to do. Some maps that makes it a little difficult are where you want to put your productions. But I mean, as far as productions go, just remember that they do cost you every month. So I try to make sure that I have other passive income that's going to make up for all my production costs. I think my production costs are like 24, maybe 48,000 a month, but I'm pulling in 7 to 10 million a month too. So, I'm more than making up for all my production costs. My water costs are 14,000 a month. And what's weird about that is I have water pumps. So I'm not even sure why my water usage is so high. Because all this water is already in here. I mean, there's 5.9 million liters of water in that factory. Well, between the both of them, of course. There's two factories there. But so I don't even know why my water usage is at 14 million. Because there's so many ways to get free water, so I'm confused why I pay $14,000 a month for water. But anyways, either way, I guess it's probably along the lines of the cow barns because you don't fill cow barns with water anymore. Productions. Look at your productions. Look about how you want to run your farm, what you want to do on your farm. And, you know, if you're not seeing a production that you want, go look at the mod hub. I don't have very many mods that are from for production. I really don't. That silage and that hay and that extended oil plant, that's about it. Everything else is almost base. It should be base game. The flavored milk's not. Sorry, I have that one too. But the dairy is base. The oil is base. Oh no, the oil was extended, so the extended oil plant. The grain is base. But I mean, if you're not finding something that you want to do, then look in the mod hub. You know, and just remember, I don't put them down until I'm ready to throw something in them. No sense of having that cost every month because you still get charged for them being there. So, and there's all my greenhouses. Guys, I got these set up beautifully. They're all in a row. I literally just run down with my herbicide or my liquid fertilizer, and I fill them up. And as you can look, this is where you run them down. I just run my truck down. And it's set up to the point where it fills up, and all I got to do is hit the button one time. Hit my triangle, there it goes, it's filling. Right? Now we can back up. And it'll keep filling without, there it goes, see? And I don't have to keep hitting the button. Because I put them close together. There it goes. I'm probably going to hit a building because I'm just the worst driver. Yep, I'm going to hit a building. But as you can see, it fills them for me. I hit it one time. And you might be like, well, what if they start stacking? Well, I have them set to sell. Why would I need to worry about them? So I don't have to worry about them storing because it's already set to sell. I don't. This is all coffee. And I think this last one down here needs a little. There it goes. And that's it. And then I just shut it back off. All right. And then up here with my multi-fruit ones, and I do the same things. I have my excess herbicide in the tanker, just in case something happens to the factories. And I just run down, fill them all up. And it takes 100,000 seeds, 100,000 fertilizer, 100,000 herbicide. 2 factories keep it up. I don't have to worry about a thing. So it's out of space because I have not come in here and emptied anything for a while. And I could just empty them right there. So, you know, good passive income are greenhouses, guys. Greenhouses are always good passive income. You know, you start making yourself some money once you get to like $1 million, let's say $2 million, $3 million. The other thing that I would suggest that you do as far as production goes, if you want to make some extra production money and not have to worry about doing anything, this is where I want to be. There's my sprayer. Just so you guys see that I really do have one. Let's go outside and I'll show you. And by the way, all that is that wheat. As far as you can see, it's wheat. Come back here. I'm going to show you right there. I mean, that sucker generates enough money a month that you really wouldn't have to worry about much else, to be honest about it. Let's go in. I think it's construction, productions. Go to generators, and there it is. Nope, it's not that one. I think it's past these stupid signs. There it is. So it costs you $1.2 million, but it's going to generate you $100,800 a month. And there it is. So once you get to that first, $2 million, and you don't really need anything, pop one of those suckers in. You can even go a little lower, 72,000, 86,000. I'm not using any government subsidy signs. I have them, but I'm not using them. You could even go with a large wind turbine for 67,000 a month. I find that these other ones are not enough for me to even be concerned about. 8,000 a month is not going to be anything. So these ones are useless to me. So, you know, coffee greenhouses in first. Then once I get my lime factory set up, then I put in my multi-fruit. The coffee alone is going to get me the farm equipment and the farmlands that I need for me to grow all my grains and my sugar and everything else. So, and I can pretty much buy whatever I want. 98%. Some of this should get, there's 100. I say some of this should be at 100%. Because you know how it is a lot of times when you buy a field in a game that's already there, you'll go over to it, you're like, oh, I'm going to harvest that, and it's like at 23%. It's going to cost me more even to just lease the equipment to harvest it, so I generally will just mulch it. And that's how I get everything to 100% originally. Now, obviously, this whole entire field is not at 100% this particular yield. But, I mean, it's pretty close to all this field is 100%, I'd say. It'd be pretty close. And this field's huge. All right, guys, as far as productions go, that's really all I wanted to talk about was how to do your productions. What should you do with productions? Where do I go to get productions? And again, as far as what productions should I use, only you can answer that, really, guys. You know, what are you wanting to do? You know, are you just money hungry and you want to make money? Then do 47 greenhouses and don't do anything else. Because with 47 greenhouses, you really wouldn't have to do anything else. Because you can literally put 47 greenhouses in. I tried it on Elm Creek and it was 47. So I dropped it to 46. But anyways, and you're going to make so much money off of greenhouses, it's going to be insane. But that kind of takes away from everything else. I was being a little sarcastic. But you could definitely put in a bunch of greenhouses and still have all your other productions. So, you know, that's it, guys. That's how you're going to do it. If you got any questions, let me know in the comments. Talk to me and let me know what you're thinking. If there's something you want to see, let me know. I'm going to have a new poll in the comment section anyways by Monday, I think, on are there other games that you guys play and you want to see? Let me know. The new Civilization is going to be coming out in February. FS25 is out, but I think a lot of folks are kind of backing away from FS25 till they fix all the bugs and the crashing. And the base game stuff is worse than FS22's base game stuff. There's no options, so it's still a good game, and I like the game, and I'm going to play it. But like most everybody else, I'm going to back off a little bit. I never left FS22, but a lot of people are coming back and just going to wait for the updates, and obviously they're going to be waiting for mods. I don't really have to have the mods, but I'd like to be able to play the game without it crashing. But I do have a new video coming out. It's going to be a side-by-side of FS22 and FS25. Same tractor, same plow. And that way we can compare together and see what everybody thinks. But again, let me know in the comments what you guys think, what you want to see. Let me know. Talk to me. But guys, that's it for today. I really appreciate you watching as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notifications button for me. And as always, until next time.